In the hot thread about Uber for women, there are a lot of comments from men who do not understand what the reality of women looks like at all, and the only thing that outrages them is the strange, one-time behavior of the price calculation algorithm. The first unwanted courtship of the elderly and cases of harassment began to appear when I was 13 years old. Unfortunately, the examples can be multiplied, so I'll write the ones that come to my mind now. I encourage other women to add their situations in the comments. I was with a friend at the lake. When we were sitting on the bench, a guy came up to us and started talking about the weather. At first we looked up at his face, and when we looked down, it turned out that he was dangling his penis in front of us all the time. Then he offered to give him a blowjob. That's when I found out what a blowjob is. We were terrified and convinced that if we told our parents, they would kill us, and we promised ourselves that we would not tell anyone about it. A guy drove up to me and asked for directions. When I bent down to hear him better, I noticed that he didn't have any underpants, and he was jerking off while talking to me. I was so shocked that I didn't remember his face. In general, about guys on transport, I have a few more stories. The other one was also riding next to me and kept trying to persuade me to go on a date. It was already dark. I was returning home from evening classes and was just walking along such a stretch of road without buildings around. This dick is remarkable because he was about the age, I'm 21, he's 25 to 30, and the first time I yell at him to leave me alone, and I grabbed his phone, he scared me, said I didn't need to call anywhere, and left. After that, he made a turn and drove up to me again, and the pervert tried his chances to get into my underpants, to which I took out my phone again and called my sister, who had already accompanied me to the end of the way. One day I was coming home in a taxi and the driver was so creepy that I got out early so he wouldn't know where I live. I was waiting for the morning bus to school and was alone at the bus stop. The guy, heading to the same stop, took his cock out of his fly and started jerking off, looking at me. Another guy attacked me in broad daylight in the city center because I had a punk skirt. He was trying to pull me up and show everyone my panties. I have not voiced here all sorts of boorish pickups on buses, at bus stops and in other places that I cannot easily get away from. I didn't write down the situations when I approached girls who were being extorted by pretending to be their sisters. Bonus: one day a Confederate at work explained to me that a woman cannot be raped. Some of these situations have occurred in public places. I'm sure there were witnesses in most of these situations. Do you know how many people helped me in the market when a guy pulled my skirt and climbed under it? 0 guy with a dick on top was walking to a stop with oncoming cars opposite, so someone must have seen him too. How many people have stopped? 0. I'm not interested in Uber cameras or other things that will help me prove my case when harassment has already happened. I'm not interested in background checks because they don't cost anything. I don't want to have a guarantee that the driver and Uber will be responsible. I want to feel safe while driving, and in life I can't feel safe being locked in a car with a strange guy, a pervert. It is known that not every guy is a pervert, but the problem is that you don't know who this pervert is. I have no other ideas to solve this problem, because all the suggestions that have been made in this topic have made it easier to prove harassment, and women care about feeling safe, not to be able to prove their point. What? Prove your case. When does the driver who tried to molest me know where I live?